Hi again, everybody. This is Chris Brown, live from NECSS 2012 with our guest, Michael Rogers, futurist, author, and technology pioneer. Michael, thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So you just got away from a panel talking about futurism, and explain a little bit about what you guys spoke about.
Well, I think part of the discussion was just what is a futurist? Is it someone who makes actual predictions that we then count on coming true? Or is it someone who helps people think about the future? And the other issue around that is, are there mathematical ways to predict the future? So we had one panelist who does a lot of forecasting with mathematical models, who believes that you can actually make good predictions with mathematical models around some things like conflicts, armed conflicts, things like that. Then on the other hand, there's me. I think that it's pretty hard to predict the future, but that the important thing is that individuals need to predict their own future. And for me, the role of the futurist is to really make people think about the future. And sometimes that involves making predictions. You make up scenarios. You say, oh, by 2020, we're going to have to teach kids what offline means, because online will be the normal state of things. And that causes business people to start thinking about their online strategy. Maybe we should really invest more money in that stuff. So predictions work that way for me. We had an interesting discussion about H.G. Wells. Now, probably the first futurist. He wrote a book not many people know about called Anticipations, published in 1900, describing the world of 2000. And it's fascinating. I mean, it's hard reading because H.G. Wells was a typical white Englishman of his time, racist, anti-Semitic, really pretty nasty about anybody but white Englishmen. Got to get past that. But he made some amazing predictions. Nuclear weapons, a war between Germany and the United States in the mid-century, suburbs, and then he made total misses. Didn't believe submarines would ever catch on. And the biggest one is he said by 2000, society will be ruled by scientists because the rational will win.
It seems to me that's what scientists might term a howler.
Yes, or wishful thinking on his part. So it's fascinating because he was very good. He did understand a lot of technology quite well, but the stuff that he didn't understand, he really missed on, like submarines.
Now, is there any sort of clear-cut way of differentiating? For example, I think we can pretty safely tell in, let's say, 200 years where Mars will be. That's a scientific thing that we understand. We know where it's going to be.
Exactly.
But then there's things that are far less certain, like what will the price of oil be in 2 years? Is there a sort of agreed upon line where you draw what you can predict and what you can't?
You know, for me, it's when human beings get involved. It immediately becomes squishy. Like the price of oil. We know how much oil there is. And the price of extracting the next amount of oil is fairly well understood. The oil companies are really good at being futurists. They invented things like scenarios. But they don't know to what extent will the third world, for example, adopt American habits in terms of using enormous amounts of gasoline. We don't really know. We think they will, but we could be surprised. So for me, an example is Moore's Law. Moore's Law is the law that says number of transistors on a chip doubles every 18 months. And that has driven a lot of predictions about the fact that your iPhone in the year 2020 is going to be as powerful as a scientific desktop of today. We know that's going to happen. That's just, it's written in physics. That's an easy one. Other ones are a little more complicated as soon as that human factor comes in.
Now, if people want to find out more about you, where can they go?
My website is www.michaelrogers.com, and the name that I write under is The Practical Futurist.
Very nice. Well, Michael, thank you very much for joining us here at NECSS. Hope to see you again soon.
Thanks much.